check out our new sponsor, the Health Blaze. All the information is in the description. Use the promo code above. Goodfellow One Boxing at 18% off of all their natural products, from deodorant, pomade, toothpaste, and much, much more. And they have additional discounts on their website as well. That's thehealthblaze.com. Starting December 20th. That promo code is good for 18% off. We go. Mike Carpenter posted on Twitter, and I linked the source in the description, that Canelo Alvarez is unhappy with Golden Boy after the IBF stripped him and he lawyered up, and pretty much he wasn't happy that he got stripped, and he's not happy that Golden Boy hasn't been able to land him an opponent. But I think it's deeper than it is, with them just scratching the surface. But let's talk about it. We're back, Goodfellow Sports TV. I appreciate the love, support. Appreciate everybody out there for grinding with us. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, bell icon button. Do me a favor, share the video. It's the best way to help the channel out, right? And I think it's deeper. I think it's financial. I think it's a thing behind the reason. It's a thing behind the reasons that Canelo's opponents being blackballed. Being lowballed. Excuse me. They being lowballed by offer. They paid Danny Jacobs a 12.5 minimum. He ended up making 15.5 fighting Canelo. And now people is using Danny Jacobs getting overpaid. But remember, he was with his own. And that's the reason he signed with Eddie Hearn. But people using him getting overpaid versus Canelo as a barometer on how much they should make versus Canelo. And Golden Boy just refusing to get the funds out. And now Canelo is lawyered up. And now he's talking about trying to possibly get out of his DAZN, or at least his Golden Boy contract. And I think one of the reasons they're having problems locking down the opponent is that Golden Boys just don't have the money like that, man. And really, Canelo is they one driving force for making money. And they hope guys like Ryan Garcia and Lamont Roach and a few other guys that got over there can help take the company out the red. But the company is entrenched in the red. But if he really want to fight Demetrius Andrade, how hard a fight is that to make? Andrade get a base salary of $4 million. Is he really being tough to negotiate with? And my thinking is, do we want to fight? Do we really want to fight Demetrius Andrade? That's what I'm thinking. Because that's an easy fight to make. The DAZN shouldn't have no problem shoving out the money for one of their own to fight Canelo Alvarez. And now you got to wonder, do we want the Demetrius Andrade fight? In my opinion, it makes no sense to fight Demetrius Andrade right now. You should have paid Charlo to step aside, hold the belt. And if you was going to fight Demetrius Andrade, you shouldn't have lost the IBF. You still returned to Super WBA. You could have been undisputed. Andrade was never in the plan. It ain't that he feared Triple G. He just don't want Triple G to make no living off his name fighting him. And he felt like he beat him decisive the second time. So he felt like he ended that chapter, and he don't owe anybody a trilogy versus Triple G, and I'm fine with it, because I thought he won the second time by a country mile. But it's looking at the point where Canelo don't want to fight nobody, or it's looking to the point where Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy don't want to pay nobody to fight Canelo. And a lot of guys already know what comes with fighting with Canelo. You're not gonna win. If you can't knock him out, you really don't have a chance on the scorecard. If the greatest fighter of this decade, Floyd Mayweather Jr., F. Max Kellerman talking about, he puts a shutout, he still get a even scorecard at the end. No matter how good a boxer you is, you don't, for one, you don't produce the popularity and cachet that Floyd Mayweather got. And two, you probably don't even have those skills to begin with. Okay, but it's just looking like Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, and Canelo. This financial that they can't get over. It sound like Oscar want to pocket and be frugal with the money and keep as much money as possible. And Canelo like, damn, just paid the nigga so I have somebody to fight. But he frustrated why, the face of boxing can't find a fight. And that's because Golden Boy don't have the money. Or they unwilling to spend the little money they got on their opponent. It ain't that they don't believe in Canelo. Really, they got to get paid too. But this will happen when you put all your chips into one star. But this shouldn't take that long. I don't really believe Canelo want to fight Demetrius Andrade. And I can make statements out. If he was going to fight Demetrius Andrade, then he would have made sure he kept all the belts and fought from undisputed. He never was gonna fight Andrade. What he really wanted to do is have Triple G be the lead blocker and fight Andrade, and then fight Triple G for all the belts. And now he down. He was up 3 belts: WBA, WBC, IBF, and now he down to 1. And at the end of the day, he trying to exhaust his options, but he really don't want to fight Demetrius Andrade. He really probably gonna wait till after Kovalev yard, and then try to secure that fight in December. And that's how he gonna rock out this year. That's what he want to do. That's what he really want to do. But if they want to fight Demetrius Andrade, it don't take that long to do this fight. All of a sudden, he getting a lawyer. Now they want to sit down. Now they want to talk. They don't want to fight Demetrius Andrade. That was never in the plan. And if Demetrius do price himself out this fight, then it won't be the first or the last time he probably gonna do it, because he apparently was the one ducking out of the Lara fight. You know, he was one, pulling out the Lara fight or pulling out negotiations, and then said it was Lara that wasn't trying to do nothing. And really, in the whole situation, it was Demetrius Andrade. But Golden Boy got to get their house in order. They had one job to do, and that's keep Canelo Alvarez happy. And not only just one job to do, too. They had to keep Garcia happy, and they aligned Garcia with Canelo camp to train. And all of a sudden, they sharing stories, and then they putting the pieces to the puzzle together, and they find out Oscar De La Hoya getting down on them. But that's just the boxing game. The promoter take theirs off top before a dollar gets spent on a card, and they get paid, and they millionaires, or they get a couple $100,000 off top, depending on how big and small your fight and your deals is. They get paid before anybody take a punch or throw a punch or run a mile for the fight. But if they on the same side of the street, and that's the way that that's the way that we can get fights done. When they on the same side of the street, how hard is it to agree terms with Demetrius Andrade? Give him $7-8 million, and the zone already give him the base salary of $4 million, and keep it moving. Demetrius probably thinking I'm worth $10-12 million too. But shit, it is what it is. It seemed like Canelo was being kind of froze out by opponents. They all kind of unionizing together, saying that we not gonna take nothing less than whatever market value was that Danny Jacobs got, was a 12.5 minimum. And they all using that. If I don't get nothing close to that, I ain't fighting them. And they created that. That's what happened when you overpay and you reset the market. When you reset the market, everybody gonna want to get close to that 8-figure number they gave Danny Jacobs. Everybody think they Danny Jacobs. Everybody think they can do what Danny Jacobs do. But everybody, when you fight Canelo, you coming for the money. But I see people not willing to sell their O's or sell their belts or sell their records just to be an opponent for Canelo Alvarez. And that's how, even if you go in there and shut him out, 12-0, he's still gonna get the decision or a draw. And people still gonna say, oh yeah. They still gonna go along with it. You can have 30 different perspectives from one fight. That's the bad thing about a fight not ending in a knockout. There's always somebody trying to go against the grain. There's always somebody that saw it from a different angle in the arena, or saw it, closed circuit at a different angle. So that's really what we dealing with in this situation. But as far as Canelo and Andrade, if that was the fight to be done and signed, sealed, and delivered, it would have been signed, sealed, and delivered by now. Canelo don't really want to fight Demetrius Andrade. Canelo really want to wait on Anthony Yard and take the route of least. Kovalev, he could be Anthony Yard, and he want to take the route of least resistance. It just don't make no sense to go fight Demetrius Andrade. It's not for undisputed. And it could have been for undisputed. All y'all did had to politic and communicate, pay a couple dollars out, and now you sitting in this position you in because Golden Boy has been lowballing opponents, and Canelo want to know why. And they probably asked Canelo to give some of his purse up to his opponent. He probably like, why? You making all this money off me? The zone got all this money, and the kid learned the business the hard way. And people saying it's been talks to some one of his stablemates, Oscar Valdez, and I guess a couple more fighters is trying to talk Canelo into signing with ESPN Top Rank. And maybe I'll do a video on that, but I'll cook for a second on that. It is what it is. Al Heyman is the place to be for a guy like Canelo. But if Canelo want that security of a promotional contract, Bob Arum, ESPN, be glad to have Canelo Alvarez. And anybody, and people worried about the opponents or who on that side of the street, it don't matter. People are going to cross the Red Sea and part it themselves. Forget Moses, just to fight Canelo Alvarez. So, we'll see what he do. But hey, it's Goodfellas Sports TV. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Hill Blaze, at theHillBlaze.com. Promo code Goodfellow when boxing to 18% off the 100% all natural products. Check out my website, promo code description. Don't forget to be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you have business questions, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Appreciate the love, support, man. You want to make a donation, share the videos. You want to make a donation. That link's in the description. Let me know what you think about the story. I'll link the source in the description on the source link. One time for the one time Goodfellow Sports.